Up in flames, French businesses have been a major target during recent protests in Senegal. The demonstrations have been in support of opposition leader Ousmane Sonko. But why has anger against France been part of the chaos? This is Roundtable. Hello, I'm Shuli Ghosh. As a former colonial power, France still holds considerable influence in Senegal, with French as the official language, French troops on the ground, and French brand names in the streets. And it was those businesses that became the focus of anger during Senegal's biggest protests in decades.
Thousands of young people took to the streets in Senegal, some of them hurling stones at police, burning cars and looting shops. In particular, protesters targeted French businesses including Total petrol stations, Orange mobile phone booths, Eiffage toll gates and 21 Auchan supermarkets in Dakar. Protests started after main opposition leader Ousmane Sonko was arrested for public disorder while on his way to court to face a rape charge. After 5 days, Sonko was freed on bail to the jubilation of his supporters.
We demand to the Senegalese people, and the youth in particular, not to let up on mobilising, not to break this exceptional mobilisation. The victims must not have been in vain, so that this never happens again in Senegal.
The protests sparked a new debate in Senegal. Critics say much of it has centred on the idea of La France Afrique, the perceived neo-colonial dominance of France in some African countries. Critics say it benefits France at the expense of Senegal, where nearly 40% of the population lives in poverty. French businesses account for 25% of Senegal's total economy, or GDP. The country still uses the colonial-era CFA franc currency and retains French as an official language. The last French president, François Hollande, insisted that France-Afrique was history. China has emerged as a powerful player, pursuing its own interests in Africa. But what is France's role in Senegal now, and does the exploitation continue?
Joining us on the show today in Senegal's capital, Dakar, Cheikhu Oumar, president of the Observatory for Monitoring Economic Development in Africa and a former Senegalese MP. From the US, Maram Gay, associate professor of African and African diaspora literatures at East Carolina University. And in Paris, Emmanuel Dupuy, president of the Institute for European Perspective and Security. Good to have all of you here with me today. Cheikhu, let me start with you. When we look at the protests that have been happening in Senegal, how substantial is the anti-French sentiment in France? I mean, is it across the board? Is it mostly the young people? What?
The sentiment regarding the French and the relationship between Senegal and mostly West Africa, since several years now, we've seen that it's getting very tense, and it's coming to a lot of different issues, especially in the economical issue regarding also the currency, the franc CFA, which more and more, and since 2 decades now, economics and professors, even social movements are trying to say to the French people, we don't want you no more to be involved in our economic
But Cheikhu, why? Because French businesses make up 25% of Senegal's GDP. Why is there this growing animosity towards the French presence?
Well, it may be because we have a younger generation who doesn't really feel a really big attachment to French anymore. We have a really great relationship with France from generation. We were a colonial country colonized by the French. But we've seen these past 30 years that the gap is growing between this new generation and the generation that and the former generation. Now the youth are mostly speaking English. They have more opportunities to see other countries. They have more windows with the internet and all these tools that are showing them other opportunities. And then they are seeing that the French are not really helping the country move forward like they want to. And since also we are not getting out of the economical trouble since we've been in the French CFA with the French, we never been able to build up a really good growth, economical growth, and we are going deeper in a poverty. So for this generation, regarding the education system, regarding the involvement of the French in our economy, regarding the fact that the currency is still attached to the French economy and other factors, the people are saying, listen, we had enough from this relationship with the French, not enough in the sense that we want to get out of the country or to leave, but we want to change now the situation and have new partnership with other countries, but dignifying our economy, dignifying also our us as a human being and as an African.
Okay. Let me put that to Emmanuel. What do you make of what Tchékou has just said, that there is a growing disconnect, particularly amongst young Senegalese, as to how they view the French presence? They don't want the language, they don't want the currency, and they don't think France has helped them make progress with their economic development.
Well, I would say that the independence happened 60 years ago, and the protests that are happening in the streets of Dakar do not target French, but target a president who is leaning, as the former president Abdoulaye Wade, for a third mandate.
But a lot of French businesses were targeted in those protests. A lot of French-owned businesses were specifically picked out.
Tip of the iceberg. They were not protesting against the French. They were protesting against the president, who may have the best relation. He has a very deep relation with President Macron. He met President Macron. He is co-sharing the World Pact for Education with the French president. He was invited for the G7. There's a very personal relation between the two. But do not get it wrong. The people went on the streets not against the French, but against their president. The name of the movement is Y'en a marre. And again, it doesn't have a French root or a French background. Let's make it, that's my first point. My second point, to respond to your question, the ongoing deception concerning French presence in Africa is not only concerning Senegal. 68% of the young Senegalese between 18 and 24 have a bad image or a worsened image of France, which is also the case for 71% of the Gabonese and 60% of the Malians. So it's a growing situation against the third mandate.
Okay, that's clearly a very different point of view from Tchékou's point of view. Let's bring in Maram. Clearly, there's a big division in how France is perceived and French influence is perceived in Senegal. So, what's your view? Were protesters protesting against French influence, or was it more about, for example, anger over the arrest of Ousmane Sonko, or anger over the lack of economic opportunities for many young Senegalese? What do you think?
I think this is very multi-layered, and I agree with my French colleague that the people did not go out in the street to destroy specifically. Like the reason for this protest is not a sentiment against France, and that it was sparked by stringent COVID restrictions, a bad economy, and all of that. But I also think that France need to reconcile with its paternalism in Senegal, and the fact that there are so many French businesses that were destroyed. That's not a hazard. And if this is happening in many areas in Africa, then there is a question that needs to be asked, why? So Y'en a marre, yes, definitely was protesting, but the protesters this time is not just Y'en a marre. They come from different places. They are also partisans of Sonko, who are angry that rape is being used maybe to neutralize their leader, but I think it's more than that. It's about the youth feeling tired that there's a symmetry between France and Senegal. They feel that Senegal gives more to France than France gives to Senegal.
You mentioned the economic problems caused by the pandemic there. Let's just hear from President Macky Sall, who also blamed the recent economic troubles on the pandemic. This is what he had to say.
I would like to tell you that I understand your concerns and worries. I've seen many of you take to the streets to express your anger over your unhappiness. That's because you don't have a job, because you aspire to a better future, because after a year of pandemic, your daily life is still impacted by economic morosity, with social restrictions and limitations of recreational and leisure spaces.
Maram, why is economic disparity such a big issue in Senegal? Macky Sall came to the presidency promising a new era, but the levels of unemployment, the levels of poor education are still extremely high. Even without the pandemic, they're still high.
Yes, we need to agree that before the pandemic, the economy was still not good for, especially for young people. Young people under 25 constitute 60% of the Senegalese population. Yet they are so unemployed, they are so marginalized, and I think the disparities between the have and have not is impacting the young more than it is impacting anybody. So if you look at Senegal, you will see that there is such a big gap between the elite and young people. So of course they will be frustrated, and I don't think that it is right to say that the pandemic is the one reason. I mean, this was happening prior to the pandemic. The pandemic has amplified it, but it's not definitely its origins.
Cheku, Emmanuel was making the point very credibly that people in Senegal were not so much protesting against the French as protesting against the president, against the government, which has failed to stem rising unemployment. Are people losing faith in President Macky Sall?
Yes, Emmanuel was right, but it depends how you asked me the question earlier. You asked me the question between the relationship today from France and in general with the youth and the Senegalese. But if you ask me about specifically what happened in Senegal these past few days, it was a combination of different factors. Like Mariam said, it was the issue of pandemics. We have the curfew. The first time we had it for 6 months, the state did give some social help to the population with money and rice and food assistance to a lot of people, but still it didn't really respond to their needs, and we got in a deeper bad situation with the economic growth going down. The population is not working as they used to. So coming to this issue with Ousmane Sonko that felt that he's right and it was a plot against him, that brought all this fact of injustice, that there is no justice in the country, that the fact that the president is not listening, that the fact that the investment that the state is doing is not going to help directly the youth to find jobs. So all these factors
But isn't Ousmane Sonko just using rhetoric about French investment, France as a trading partner? Isn't he just using rhetoric to try and stoke up anti-government feelings and try to win support to himself?
Yes, but he talked about it, but he wasn't mainly the person who's talking about this feeling. We have Guy Marius Sagna, who's ahead of Frappe France Dégage, who had a lot of issues with Auchan coming in Senegal, with a lot of different investment with Sonatel, Orange investment. How Orange is making a lot of money is not really going to the Senegalese pocket.
Okay, that's a really important point that you've made there. Let me put that to Emmanuel. So the accusation is that French companies are doing all this business in Senegal, but the money isn't really going to the Senegalese. The Senegalese are not benefiting from this investment and from these
Yes,
businesses.
but of course, I have to argue the fact that France is not the only external actor investing in Senegal. That would be not the truth. You have
But
to
it's
be
a big
honest.
one. It's a big partner
it's
in
not the
Senegal.
biggest. It's not the biggest. That is not true. It's not the biggest. There's been huge investment by the Emirates, who are building a huge port 75 kilometers from Dakar. There's been huge investment coming throughout the AGOA, which has been launched by President Clinton, and which will be, I think, relaunched by President Biden. There's been huge investment promised by China on regards of its interconnectivity, the 5G, which is currently will be currently a reality within 5 years in all of West Africa. France is not the biggest investor. There's an amount of Europeans who are now doing as much as business as France. Let me get back to your point. The real issue is not the responsibility of France in employing Senegalese. France is no longer a colonial power. This was 60 years ago. We have now had a certain number of presidents. I do reckon 6 presidents since Léopold Sédar Senghor, after Abdou Diouf and Abdoulaye Wade, and that makes 4. Their responsibility it's their own responsibility. Do have in mind that President Macky Sall promised when he came in power in 2012 to bring Senegal to the merge of economy throughout the Plan Sénégal Émergent, which was launched in 2012, November 2012, to the horizon of 2035. Has there been a result on that? That's the first issue. Second issue, there's been, I think, something which has not been sufficiently taken in account. The personal grievances between Ousmane Sonko and President Macky Sall. President Macky Sall was struck by an affair which targeted his brother, who was targeted throughout a problem of bribery, I think is the word in English, when it comes to the ongoing huge amount of oil exploitation in front of Senegal throughout the affair called Petrotim. He was employed by Petrotim, who manifested and who was interviewed by the BBC channel, Ousmane Sonko, and a certain number of other opponents. So let's not forget that there's a personal grievance between President Macky Sall
there's
and
clearly a lot of
Sonko,
political intrigue going on there. And I want to pick up on one point that you've mentioned, and I'll pick up with you, Maram. Emmanuel makes the point that France is not the only country who is involved in Senegal. And in fact, we know that President Macron, when we look at this France-Afrique strategy, Macron promised to end this as a strategy back in 2017. So why is there so much focus on France when there are lots of other countries that are investing in Senegal?
Well, because of the obvious, the relationship between France and Senegal. France has colonized Senegal for so many years. I mean, and we're talking about 60 years of independence. Does that amount to the same of the how many hundreds of years of occupation and depleting the resources and everything?
But Emmanuel Macron has pledged to...
France is not the only one here.
Macron has pledged to back away from that strategy. I'm not sure that it's proving as simple as he thought it might, but France has at least said that it does not want to exert this particular kind of power over former colonies. How do you think that's going?
Yeah, I think it's not going well, but I think that what the Senegalese are asking is a dignified relationship in which that we're both partners, each actually getting something out of this relationship, not the paternalism that we see right now. I think that the point is not that the protest is sparked by France. It's not. Nobody's discussing that. But the fact that the French businesses are caught in the middle says a lot about the inequalities between France and Senegal in terms of the relationship that they have. And I think that is something that we need to emphasize and focus on that.
Okay, well, if we're talking about how can Senegal continue forward, or perhaps a future where Senegal is not as tied up as closely as it is with France, how does Senegal fill the gap? Because it does have a big trading partner with France, and it does have a lot of investment by France. So, Tchékou, if Senegal were to try and untangle with France, and whether or not that's possible is another question, who would it turn to help its economy?
First of all, the first partners of Senegal should be the West Africans, reminding you that maybe Emmanuel talked about this, the issue between Macky Sall and Ousmane Sonko regarding the oil discovery and how the contract were written. But we're reminding you too that it was a big issue by signing the contract with Total and the former minister, Mr. Sall, who was heading the Ministry of Oil, refused to sign that deal between the France and Senegal regarding how exploitation for Total. So it had an issue also of France being involved in our oil and gas. So that's another issue. But coming to this issue, what you're talking about, first of all, French said it's true that they will stop being in the institution, in banking institution, and be involved in our money. We still having exchange rate that the France is holding. We're asking them to back away from that and let us build our own currency to be able to print our own currency. That's what Madam said, our dignifying ourselves by letting the West African country take care. It's not only about Senegal. Why Nigeria doesn't want the ECO now to be guaranteed by France? Why France should be behind us? We are not babies no more. We don't ask them. We don't ask them to show us the way where we go. We can have partners with United States. We can have partners with India. We can have partnership with England. We can have partnership with everybody. The only thing that we're asking now, as an African, I'm not talking about Senegalese, but as African, that any country, any developing country should look at us with a lot of respect and knowing that we are asking to being considered as a partners and not to come and take away our resources and just make us believe that they can help us through AIDS, through the banking system, and keep us in the poverty. That's what we are really talking about. It's not only about France. We are talking about the broader issue is now we are asking us, the other developing country, to consider us as partnership and with our culture and our youth that are asking for more freedom from that.
I want to take issue with the question itself. Who should Senegal turn to help it? We always want to infantilize Africa. Who is it going to turn to other than itself first?
So let me rephrase that. Who can Senegal partner with to help in its economic development?
Thank you. We're partnering with people. We're not asking people for help. We want to actually be able to design our progress, design how our economy should be working, and then partner with people in a dignified manner to work toward development for both. Because I think that when we have this rhetoric of Africa always needing help from somebody else, we're infantilizing Africa at all levels. So Africa has all the resources it needs and the manpower, the intelligence to be able to get itself out of the trouble that was mostly made by Europe.
Is that view understood in France, that there is this stereotyped view of African countries in that they need help, that they are being infantilized, that they're being regarded as children who need to be taken into the future? That is what is causing a lot of the anger. Is that view understood in France?
I think it's understood for a great number of years. That's absolutely not how we understand our relations with African countries. This infantilization that you mentioned may have been true 30 years ago, but again, there's been a certain number of layers. There has been the speech of President Macron in Ouagadougou in 2017. Do remember that in 1990, President Mitterrand said that we were not here to replace the states, which were, again, a consequence of our colonization, but to mutualize and to work together with the necessity to have conditionality. And again, it's not us that should bring governance, better governance, democracy, or better social inclusiveness. 48% of the population of Senegal is underemployed. That is not the responsibility of France. It's a responsibility of the state.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we're coming to the end of the show, and I just very quickly want to ask you, Tchékou, do you see protests continuing in Senegal going forward? There's clearly a lot of political problems to work out, but do you see the protests continuing?
Well, it's not the first time that Senegal is going through protests. We've been dealing with that a lot of time during the political system here. But I think it will come down. Eventually, the president will learn his lesson and talk with the young and present them a new agenda for job growth. And we hope that will die down and we'll have a clear election in 2024, which will any incumbent can win it, and we can go to peace and to work toward growth, economical growth for Senegal and West Africa. That's mainly what we're looking for.
Okay.
And by the end of the day, what I'm just adding to finish, to remind Emmanuel that, well, France is not involved anymore, but when we seen that Mr. Ouattara and in Ivory Coast, when people asked them to leave, when France was just not saying anything, and at the end of the day, it was Gbagbo one here, and France intervened and to throw him out, that was an issue that we didn't forget about it. It's still fresh in our mind, and we're still asking France to back down.
It's been a really interesting discussion. Thank you very much indeed to all my guests, Cheku Oumar, Maram Gay and Emmanuel Dupuy. You can see more discussion and debate on our YouTube channel. Search for TRT World Roundtable. For now, from me and all the team here, bye-bye. Thanks for watching.